Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today, let's talk about something that I quite enjoy playing around with sometimes in my training. When I feel like I want to just get a different stimulus, don't want to change my program, but I just want to change the way that some of my exercises are performed. Now, some of these techniques, a lot of people I've found overlooked, but they've helped me and my clients unlock new levels of strength and performance that some people thought they'd plateaued and couldn't reach. Now, the whole purpose of the video is just going to be talking into some training techniques. Whether you've thought about them, seen them, never heard of them, this will be something new for you and maybe give you some inspiration to implement or try in your training.
Creativity!
And some of these advanced training techniques we're going to break down because these can actually help you to break plateaus, enhance muscle activation and add a whole new dimension to your workouts. And this isn't just about fancy machines or complicated routines. It's about leveraging smart, proven methods to get more out of every single repetition that you do in the gym. Let's get into it. Now, you probably think to yourself or asking me, Tom, why do these techniques matter? Because your body is incredibly adjustable. It's the master of efficiency. When you do the same thing over and over again, your body tends to get good at it. And the stimulus for growth can sometimes diminish. Now, to continue progressing, you need to introduce levels of new stimulus to continue that progression model. These are what are going to challenge your muscles to work in new ways, recruit more muscle fibers, improve mind-muscle connection, and ultimately can drive that new adaptation that you're searching for. They can be our secret weapon to improve against stagnation and when we hit plateaus. So let's jump into what some of these favorites are. And I'm going to use a bench press to hopefully demonstrate some of these examples for you, just so you get a visible representation. So the power of static holds. This is what focuses on dynamic movement, lifting and lowering, whereas isometrics tend to be different. They involve holding a muscle contraction at a fixed joint angle without any movement at all. Think about pushing against an immovable object or holding a weight perfectly still mid-rep. Now, one thing that I could do is I'll load up an example of me doing a pull-up at end range and holding it for time. But also, we could also say, for example, if there were safety pins on this bench press, we'd unload the bar and press against the pins for time. So, I was on the bench press, but then I thought the best way to demo this was to actually do a video of what I would deem a good isometric hold. So, let's say if I'm going for a chin-up, this is a shortened range, right at the end range position, holding an isometric of the chin up. Now, the wonderful thing is you can actually build loading wherever you find your weakest in the range of motion. So if I was going to be somewhere here or in the more shortened position, this is going to be more demanding than obviously just dead hanging. Now, for me personally, I'm a big fan of these isometric positions now. I've started incorporating them specifically in my pull-ups and my chin-ups in that end range position. And the wonderful thing is, the stronger you get with them, if you find that the time threshold is getting easier, you can then start to add weight and repeat the exercise. So you can still do it weighted, so adding 10, 15 kilos, 5 kilos around your waist, holding that end range for the isometric is still going to damn count. And then, for example, a lot of people that I've seen in the sports coaching and strength conditioning field using these extreme isometrics for the legs, obviously, if you've got a wall squat, but a lot of them are now holding these split squat positions. And again, holding them anywhere from 30 seconds minimum up to 2 minutes. And it's very humbling. Like, you'd think this isn't very challenging, but within 10 seconds, I'm already feeling the activation here. And again, if you've got an injury, let's say in your back, from a lot of people get it from lifting awkward loads, but if you've got a back injury and using a hyperextension or just being able to hinge to the position where, let's say, pain is past this point, we'll hold and we can load in this position here. Again, safely loading, building tolerance, we're still getting activation of an exercise. They're just such an overlooked principle of training. They're not only just there for basics of like doing a plank on the floor. Again, creativity with training is one of the biggest things that people tend to neglect when it comes to that in general, when it comes to their programs. I find it's, if you're creative and you can start to get really clever, if you've not got much kit, like I say, you don't need much kit to do your isometrics, you don't need much kit to do your plyometrics, you don't need much kit to do the eccentrics. It's not specialist kit, it's just the training modality of how we're using what we've got. So hopefully that example cutting into the video is going to help to explain and demonstrate it a bit better. And the beauty of isometrics is the ability to build incredible strength at specific joint angles. This translates to stronger sticking points in your lifts, improved stability, and enhanced control. They're fantastic for injury prehab and rehab, which I've used myself. They really are. And they allow you to load a muscle without movement, so it reduces stress on the joints, which again is kind of a win-win, and it's overlooked because people probably think an isometric is just a plank, for example, but there's so much more to it than that. Now, if you are big into your training, whether you're a high performer athlete, doesn't matter. This means you can build bulletproof joints, enhancing stability for demanding movements and even improving your ability to generate force quickly. You can incorporate them into your warm-ups, as finishers, or even as standalone exercises when the time is right. Again, that's from the Journal of Applied Physiology. Holds anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds, even up to minutes. Focus on maximal tension, and you can start to feel the difference. And it's slowly getting more attention as well on social media, as some high-level athletes have actually been implementing this for a number of years. The reason it gets overlooked is it's just not flashy or sexy.
What a shame.
The next one, cluster sets. Now, strategic rest, more reps, more power. Now, if you're struggling to get those last few reps on heavy compound lifts, cluster sets are an absolute game changer, and I'm a huge fan of them. So instead of doing your traditional, let's say, 8 reps straight, you would break that into smaller sets, mini sets with short intra sets. So, for example, if I'm on the bench press, an iron rack, and let's say I get 2, I re-rack, I'll wait a second, let's say I've waited 20 seconds, I'll unrack again. Yeah, another 2 reps, you get the picture. Forgive me, because I've trained already this morning, so I am a bit sore. But hey-oh, it is what it is, part and parcel of the video.
Weak. Pathetic.
So you might do, for example, what I've just done there, 2 to 3 reps, rack the weight, take 15 to 20 seconds rest, do another 3 reps, rest, and then another final 3 reps if you want to get 9 to 10 reps, however you position it. What does it achieve? It allows you to perform more total reps with a heavier weight, maintain a higher output throughout the set, reduce the accumulation of fatigue within the set. Now that's quoted from the Journal of Strength Conditioning Research. This means that you're getting a higher quality of work, stimulating more muscle fibers, and driving superior strength gains for those of you that are focused on strength and power development, especially in your big lifts. Cluster sets are a game changer, and it's a really nice way to break up thinking you've got to get a certain number of reps on a heavier weight. Having those micro break sets have really helped me to push past plateaus, and clients have, and I actually like to do them on like my heavy weighted dips and chin-ups, for example. So let's talk about the next example, plyometrics. Going to be some demonstrations on screen again, which I will load up for this. Right, again, so going to demo some of the plyometrics because I thought, again, stop being lazy, get off your arse and show people so that it helps.
Wow.
Some of the plyometric variations that I found really useful that have helped develop my leg strength, my power, my overall conditioning has been plyometrics. They are incredibly basic. Again, you don't need much kit, something to jump on, something to jump off, bit of space to jump in, and you're golden. Now, don't do this in the gym. This is a private gym. It's dead. No one's in here. Don't jump on the bench press at the gym. Someone may attack you.
I don't think you want to get hurt, because if you want to get hurt, I can hurt you.
And possibly so if it's busy and they're waiting to use it for actual bench pressing. But let's get into it. So we've got just basic box jumps onto it. You can make it harder, single leg variation. Depth drops, again, landing, taking force absorption. Again, if you are new to these, do not start as high as this. Please do start lower. Do them at your own risk as well. I'm pretty used to jumping off a higher box, so these are cool for me. Some variations, again, can be, you know, focusing on single leg landing, and then you can do a depth drop to ground reactive force jump of like a counter jump movement, jumping straight down and using that force of training back off the ground. Very useful for me with me delving into my gymnastics a bit more. And then finally, the classic that everyone knows is your broad jump. Don't fail me here, Tom. Try and make a good representable distance. So yeah, broad jumps, again, you can chain them more into one or the other. Boom, plyometrics, done. Now, if you want to be truly functional, truly athletic, being explosive is a really good trait to have. Plyometrics are exercises that involve rapid stretching and contracting of muscle fibers to produce maximal force in the shortest amount of time. So thinking about your jump squats, your box jumps, broad jumps, or even such as your upper body clap push-ups, which I'm a huge fan of as well. I think upper body plyometrics tend to get a bit neglected. Med ball throws, med ball slams, big fan of them. Now, these aren't just for your elite level athletes. Plyometrics improve your power, speed, and agility in your power. Now, they enhance your central nervous system's efficiency, teaching your body to recruit more muscle fibers faster and more effectively. And we can see that quoted in the Sports Medicine Journal. For high-performing people, this translates to better reaction time, improved overall athleticism, and for any physical activity outside of the gym, and a body that responds quickly and powerfully when needed. Start with your lower impact variations, focus on more perfect landing mechanics before progressing and adding load, dropping from higher heights, or moving to more advanced variations, which I will probably list some on screen that you can consider and have a look at, because there are some fantastic variations out there that you will have probably seen or probably experienced if you train sports or seen some of your favorite athletes do. Then we're moving to the final one, and it's simple and it's incredibly effective with your tempo training. Now, this is about controlling the speed of your movement, particularly in the eccentric or lowering phase of the exercise. Instead of just letting gravity do the work, you deliberately slow down the lowering phase. For example, a 3-second eccentric on a bench bell press with a faster concentric. So for example, we unrack the bar, 1, 2, 3, and we push up. Just a quick example. This dramatically increases the time your muscle spends under active tension, which is a key driver for muscle growth or hypertrophy. Now, it also improves your muscle control, strengthens connective tissue, helps you develop a deeper mind-muscle connection, and me personally, I think it helps you to learn better control and technique of any exercise you're doing. Rather than letting the weight free fall, you are controlling it, and it's just a better outcome. And again, we've seen this quoted in the Strength and Conditioning Research Journal. It's a fantastic way to add intensity to lighter loads and ensure you're getting the most out of every single rep without needing to consistently just add more weight. So if you train alone, if you don't have a spotter, it's a great way to overload on a weight that you are more comfortable at, feel safer with, and you can still make progression by holding that time and attention model. Now, how do you integrate these into your training, you're thinking? You don't need to do all of them. Don't start throwing them in like a fucking random pick and mix. Pick 1 or 2 that align with your current goals, cycle them into your program for a few weeks, track progress, keep an eye on your form, and progressively overload them and listen to your body. Again, one thing I will say is if you are being coached or interested in being coached, always feed these back to your coach. Let them watch over what you're doing. Stop leaving these gains on the table and stop doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, because that is just the definition of insanity. Train smarter and not just harder. These techniques will help you build a bigger, better physique and build more resiliency, powerful, and functionality, which makes your body more capable and supports your lifestyle and your goals, which is the main aim of everything we do within the gym-based environment. To get the most out of this, to get the squeeze and the juice out of the lemon, we want to get results. That's what it's all about. So I'd love to know which of these techniques you're either doing or you'd love to try. So let me know in the comments below. And obviously, if you're not following the program or not subscribed, please do. It'd be great to have you along, get to make more videos like this. And again, if it interests you and you really want to get more personalized insights and reach out and have direct contact with me, again, you can join my school community, which is listed on my YouTube page, homepage. Join up, it'd be great to have you there. Fire your training questions in, or anything else that you've been doing with your training, your videos, you want a bit of more deeper dive feedback, that's where you'll find me. And until then, guys, stay strong and yeah, keep doing good stuff, lifting in the gym, and I'll see you on the next video.